What is going on, Lake Pro Tackle fam? I hope you're having a wonderful day today. We've got some brand new products here in the shop. We are dropping up on the website very soon. If you aren't following the social media, Instagram and Facebook, make sure to check those out. We're posting daily, updating the story, letting y'all know when great deals hit the website. Of course, come check out the in-store. We've got a bunch of awesome stuff. We've got a bunch of reels up on the Real Deal corner over here. And we have some brand new product here. We're gonna be talking about it, a couple ways to rig them. If you missed out on the G-Crack Stealth 8 Bama Stroll rig, as well as the BS power hooks and the new baits here, definitely keep your eyes peeled. Follow the social media again, and hopefully we get a restock on these next week. You know, these sold out extremely quickly. I think we're gonna double the amount we got in, as well as the Stealth 5 and Stealth 7. Now, the main difference between this one here is this is really stroll specific. It has much lighter wires compared to the 5 and 7, and has been an incredible lure through the winter time here. So 8 wires, 7 on the outside, 1 down the middle, 3-inch baits, as well as that BS power hook. Super cool stuff. Now, I'm gonna let that dangle off the front there as well. We also threw up the Koikes, the elastomer fish, as well as the full cast and 17 millimeter. We do have some elastomer fishes left. This is going to have a little bit extra action than your typical regular Koike full cast or 17 mil, just because those elastomer fish kind of just wiggle around a lot more. So if you've got really active fish or a lot faster moving fish that are actively chasing bait, this is going to be a great one to throw at them. So enough of this, let's talk about what is right here. So these are the hide up Judy fish. When it comes to finding and discovering that new thing, the Judy fish has been on a lot of people's radar, that fish at the top level, and know a little bit about forward-facing sonar, as well as what makes baits good. Now, the hide-up Judy fish, it might look really weird to you. It might look kind of like an eel, kind of like a swimming. It doesn't have like a paddle tail or even like a pintail like a Sakamata shad, but this right here is quickly becoming one of those top forward-facing sonar minnows. So the Judy fish here, it is going to have these little frills on the back of it. You see that there? They're almost like little appendages. It makes this bait really stand out compared to a lot of other baits out there on the market. I really can't think of anything that is super similar that has this weird kind of like tail design, but we do have these in a lot of different colors, so make sure to check them all out, lakeprotackle.com, link in description. Also, check out the Linktree QR code going to be posted up here for y'all. Bunch of different colors. You know, 2 of my favorite ways to rig this. Number 1 is going to be on a jig head. Now, these are the 5.2 inch that we're going to be putting up on the website. I know they just came out with a smaller one. I believe it's a 4-inch, and then also a bigger one. I think it's 6.2. It's going to be in that 6-inch range. But a couple of my favorite jig heads, let's talk about them. You know, kicking it off, one brand new jig head that released this past year is going to be the VMC Minnow Shaker jig. Now, this guy right here, instead of using a typical 90-degree jig head or hook, I guess, instead of using a 90-degree hook, this uses actually a 45-degree hook, 4 per pack. This is a 3/0 8th ounce. Now, the reason I believe they went with the 45 is to allow you to fish it a little bit faster, especially as you're doing your strolling action. With a lot of 90-degree hooks, it seems like the faster you go, the more diminished the action is, and really seems to spin out a lot of the baits. Now, you don't really have to worry about that with this Judy fish here. It has a good rolling action that naturally goes with the design of the bait because it is very blocky. It doesn't have much curvature to it, very similar to like something like the Sakamata shad or something like the Last Ace, rig fish roller. Very square-ish body. It's not very round, which allows this to have a good kind of natural strolling motion where you don't have to, you know, shake super fast. So utilizing the VMC Minnow Shaker, you can go much slower. You don't have to add too much action to it. The other thing is, what's unique about the Minnow Shaker jig heads here is that they use a resin and monofilament pieces to hold the bait on, which is really nice. Locks your bait on. There's four different prongs on there, and it really allows it to hug the bait. Now, going back to some of the design of the Judy fish, there's also this hollow chamber that goes about halfway from the back where that tail starts all the way up about halfway into the main body on the upper portion. That little air chamber allows this bait to, number one, have that natural rolling action where it creates a little bit of off-centerness, as well as having these little frills back here helps catch a little bit of water and lets that bait sit and roll back and forth. Now, before you tune off this video, or maybe you are getting a little bored, this isn't just a forward-facing sonar minnow head. There's a lot of other things you can do with it, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite ways to rig it. Now, for these 5.2 Judy fish, I like a 2 or 3/0. With a 2/0 hook, I really like to go up in weight. With the 3/0, I like to go down in weight. So my typical 2/0 hook is going to be like 3/16, maybe a little bit smaller. These are the Horizon heads from Gamakatsu. These specifically are going to be the weedless version. The weedless version has the O'Shaughnessy bend, has the nano alpha coating, which makes it super slick, and it also has that O'Shaughnessy bend on the hook, which keeps those fish locked on super, super well. Now, one of the ones that I like to use specifically in this lineup in 3/0 is going to be the 1/8 ounce. This is going to be a good universal, like Sakamata, fish roller, as well as like a last ace. This is 1/8 ounces, pretty typical for most people, but as you start going up in depth, so if you're trying to sink it down to like 15 foot, something maybe around that range, I would go up to something like a quarter. 3/16 is a really good jig head size. You know, I don't know a lot of people that use anything bigger than that. You know, 3/8 is kind of pushing it a lot of the times even. As long as you can maintain that line, keep it rolling pretty good, you should have no issue. But 1/8, 3/16, quarter, typically my go-to ranges for those. And the last one here, if you like a tungsten jig head and you think it makes a big difference for you on forward-facing sonar, you know, there are studies out there where, you know, forward-facing sonar, it's bouncing off the target. So tungsten being a harder, denser material is going to give you a better return. There is some truth to that. I've seen it before. Of course, I like to use bait pop. The new Elite or the standard bait pop really allows me to get a good look at the bait on forward-facing sonar. But another great way to rig the Judy fish is typically going to be on a swim jig or chatterbait. So the chatterbait, just the regular standard jackhammer, 3/8 or 1/2 ounce, is going to be an amazing pair up and matchup for the Judy fish. Now, it's going to look a little bit wonky, you know, perhaps, where the hook is not going to be super far back, but that's all right. You want this tail to have as much natural action as possible. Of course, the skirt's going to be going around it as well, so it's going to look very vibrant. It's going to look very lively to the bass, and it's a really good matchup. So I think in total, I think we have like 8 different colors here. So let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 different colors. All of them are very similar in terms of like the shad colors. You know, we've got 297, 298, 299. These are all really good shad colors. We've got an IU. We've got like a green pumpkin shad. This one here, similar to like a smoke pepper. This one here is like electric shad. This one here is very similar to like electric shad, a little darker back on it. So there's a bunch of great shad patterns. Of course, this is great for a forward-facing sonar minnow. And another great way to rig these is going to be on just a standard ball head. You know, just like a forward-facing sonar minnow, you just kind of throw it out and reel it in. This bait's going to have a nice natural wobble again, and then also have that secondary action with the tails on the back side there. So make sure to check it out. The Judy fish from Hide Up, going up on the website on Wednesday at 10:30 as usual per the drops, as well as 5-inch Sakamata. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Keep up to date with the social media, Instagram and Facebook, when we throw up more G-Crack, as well as let you know when we get some more cool stuff like this in. Of course, Hide Up, trying to get some more full cast for you, as well as 17mm quickies, and I can't wait to help you out. Let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me a DM if you need any help finding a good rod or reel or line, anything like that. Just reach out, let us know. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.